I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Commanding the offense will be the highly touted USC product, Sam Darnold.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. A first down throw, Darnold. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Haloti Ngata able to get him for a loss of about 3.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Green, 39!
On second down, Darnold. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
All right, here we go.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. This will be fielded at the 17. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive.
For nearly 350 yards. His team won, and one word just kept coming to player of the week.
Yeah, very precise. The throws maybe as accurate as...
Get it done again in this one, too.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They go play action here on first down. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And to the 42-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And he stopped immediately there. Justin Ellis in on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On third down. That's White. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang?
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Here's Darnold now on second down. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Third and long, it's Darnold to the right side, incomplete to Njoku. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. A little slower. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On first down, Newton. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
20.
Throwing again. Newton eluding the pressure right. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gun. 20.
From the gun, here's Newton. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Now White. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On the ball.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
just beating the play clock is Newton. Rolling to his right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And now out comes Minnesota. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
This is Hunt. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 24 carries, 98 yards, and a score.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs.
Hurry up, here we go.
Darnold from the gun. He's got his tight end, Njoku. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Pass interference, defense.
So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here we go now.
2nd down and 10. Darnold, throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
First grab so far for Diggs. It's a 1st down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot.
On the run, this is Hunt. Room here to run. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Out of the gun, Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Well, now he's looking just to add to his totals. He's got his man complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 32 that time. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Now let's go. 3-19.
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a 2nd route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Darnold on 3rd down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. They'll run it here with Hunt. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Now Darnold. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. That's Njoku over the middle. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. DJ Chark, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And Olsen over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
From the 50, Newton. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Tech McKinley in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Newton now to throw. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Demaryius Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Let's go.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Darnold. And he's got his man on the out route. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Here we go now. Green 30.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
All right, here we go.
Darnold on 1st down. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Parkey's kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The drive starts with a run by White. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll begin out in the Windy City of Chicago, and it's the Niners who have the lead in that one. Carson Wentz has thrown a couple of touchdown passes there. Next, let's get over to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. Le'Veon Bell, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. Matt Ryan has a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play. In the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with the...
And he is going to be wrapped up and slung to the turf. Tech McKinley in there to drop him for his 5th. Sack of the year. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. The shotgun snap for Newton. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. 3rd and long. It's Newton. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop over 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. But every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut him down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Back to throw, Darnold. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the third phase, but you see here it can be the first phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
Hurry up, here we go.
They go play action here on first down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Woods, the intended receiver.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
How many times have we sat with coordinators, and especially the defensive guys, they've talked about big plays, sacks. They often come in bunches. Well, it may not be a bunch here, but that is the third sack of the game for them.
And around the sack 3 or 4, I would think it starts to get in the quarterback's head a little bit.
Not just the quarterback, the offensive play caller, the offensive line, knocks people off balance and changes what they normally do.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
20.
From the gun, here's Newton. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Flushed out right, and this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception,
Let's go.
a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, feel a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to the air, Darnold on 2nd down. He's going to go for a big play downfield, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Set. 319.
Darnold from the gun. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. They'll look to set up his blockers. Good blocking there, and nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent. Just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Out left side here to Bryant. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
20.
On first down, it's Newton. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is that now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
The offense on third down today, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Newton takes it himself, and it'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Tech McKinley in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Ross on the return. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Set. 180.
Now Newton. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 23 yards on the play. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Ready. 180.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Tech McKinley in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Do something.
To throw is Newton. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Bryant. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get close. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He completes it to Bryant. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Here's White. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Newton. Throwing the comeback route. He's got the hook up to Thomas. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Out of the gun, Newton eluding the pressure right. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Off of play action, Darnold. To the right side and complete to Njoku. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. A 1st down throw, Darnold. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go.
To the air again, Darnold. Got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So out now come the Lions. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember
now White lost the football. But I believe a Lion was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Now a carry for White, and he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. And Newton's going to keep it. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Newton takes it himself and able to follow his center and pick up the first. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. Throwing here, Newton. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw. That's Njoku over the middle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd and short. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hunt. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Back to throw. Left side caught by Diggs. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. He's back to throw. His throw incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball.
And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never say never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them all.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Parkey adds the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And with time of factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting...
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Dayon Buchanan. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
20.
Newton. Over the middle, complete. That's Bryant. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Now Newton. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Extra point good by Prater. Elsewhere, they're on to the fourth quarter at MetLife Stadium. And the Giants, they wind up winning that one. Sam Bradford, good game throwing the ball, over 300 passing yards. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with time of factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. And this is a spot where you can learn a lot about a young quarterback.
And that's why they brought him into the organization. Because you don't just bring them in strictly for their talent. You think that they have that something special in them that will allow them to function in these types of situations. Now it's time for them to be clinical and not emotional. You know your play sequence. You know what has to get done. Get the ball to the right people, get out of bounds, and get it downfield and try and score.
And he's trying to earn his stripes here for a winning drive. Darnold. Throw left side, complete. That's Hunt. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. Darnold. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. One final shot now. I'm not even sure he can get it to the end zone, though, from this distance.
That's going to take as much arm as he has, and you actually have to plan for the contingency. Maybe you're playing a tip, try and get someone down who can tip it up and keep it for your own team and try and get to the end zone that way.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Boom,
One last throw now for Darnold. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Lions, they're setting themselves up as a major contenders. They move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers. And for Charles